This month, I was all about educating myself on resilience, so I'm going to go through this topic in the next few videos. First of all, please allow me to share my journey that inspired me to look more into this topic. I have worked for a company with 10 people and I have worked for a company with more than 100 people, and both environments required very different skills. When I switched from one job to the other one, the laws and peculiarities that were valid in the small company completely shifted and lost their validity in the big company. While I was a big fish in a small pond at the small company, at the larger company I had to rebuild myself from scratch according to the new conditions there. And it actually took a long time before I managed to gain respect and got promoted to a higher position and received a satisfying financial recognition. Until I got to this point, there was always extra stress in my everyday life for months because I felt that they didn't see my efforts and that they took good results for granted from me and didn't recognize the work involved in the process. At that time, the lack of recognition was one of the main reasons of negative stress in me. Not because I wanted attention, but because it really felt hard to keep a smiling face when, all the effort was unseen. So in order to understand the situation and what was going on inside me, I just tried to better myself and educate myself in the topic of resilience. The thing is, at that time, I didn't like to be around people. I didn't like to talk about my work. I just kept grinding every day, and I didn't enjoy things I used to enjoy. Even meeting my friends was something I neglected because that needed organization, scheduling. So I switched to an autopilot mode for survival, and when I did self-reflection with more or less success, my final conclusion was quite a cliche that I shouldn't abandon myself, that I should not let myself to sink in the situation. And okay, that sounds good, but how do I do this? And how do I learn to navigate situations that I don't choose to be part of? In short, how do I overcome the difficulties with calm and clear thinking? And how can I maintain a satisfied mindset in every aspect in my life, even when I have to perform on a high level with responsibility in my professional life? A whole separate video could be made about this, which positive and negative influences helped me to find a solution. But in short, my most universal answer consists of 3 parts. The first one is you always have to find a motivation that allows you to see the positive in a given difficult situation, and through which you can see the difficulty as a tool that serves your improvement. You have to find this switcher in your brain and switch it on. And yes, you can do this by choice, because in this way you can perceive the difficulty as an opportunity for your improvement, even if you will have nothing to do with the lesson you learned in that very situation, because that's not always the case. We sometimes just don't learn anything, or what we learn is useless. That's the truth. But if the search for motivation or seeing the positive in the difficulty only served you to help you maintain your mental peace, and then it has already done its job, because it made a bridge between you and your mental peace. Now the second one is you must have the right amount of knowledge, which gives you sufficient confidence to keep your mind cool and think clearly. Information is power, and it actually gives you a lot of confidence. The third one is job crafting. For a very long time, I didn't even know that this was actually the thing that I was doing. I just listened to some natural instinct for survival. But here was the situation. I switched job during COVID when companies were sending people away rather than welcoming more and new employees. So I had to cook with what I had. And I had limited amount of choices to feel good about my work and to utilize my skills. So once I was able to secure a workplace, I had to shape the circumstances in my favor to feel good where I was and to avoid burnout as much as I can. I was hired as a general administrator. But I decided to bend down to the tasks nobody wanted to do in the project we were working on. So this gave me and my position uniqueness, which made my position relatively safe, and I got promoted. So these are the three things that helped me a lot. But at that period of my life, I was also wondering what would help me technically to be more adaptive, more prepared mentally when the next time another sharp change comes into my life. I wanted to make sure that it will not take a long time again to adapt under pressure, and that I can provide my best performance again quickly, and also let that performance to be seen. This is obviously very multifactorial, but for our part, we are the only ones who can always start the work. And at that time, having these thoughts, I was walking a lot among psychology-themed bookshelves of the bookstore, and I found Paul Donders' book called Resilience, which helped me a lot in that period of my life. And in the following videos, I'm going to summarize what the core messages are from the book. If we are not resilient, that can lead to burnout very easily, and only 20% of those who experience burnout are able to recover from it and live a full life. 60% are able to get out of the pit but never fully recover, and another 20% are stuck in burnout. In order to lower the risk of burnout, we have to strengthen our resilience, and this is how we do it based on Donders' concept. According to Donders, there are 7 resilience factors. The first one is reconciliation with the past. If you come to terms with your past, you become much more stable emotionally because you don't carry the pain and fears with you from the past, so you can face the current pressure more easily, you can be more present. The second one is realistic optimism, which is a basic trust in life and in ourselves. This is not given, this has to be improved by choice so that we can see oppressive challenges as opportunities for learning. I interpreted and metaphorized this as a small fire that always has to burn within you, and what helps you to face challenges with laughter and with ease. The third one is problem-solving skills. If you become resilient, your brain will not be constantly loaded because you find quick and creative solutions for problems, and this way stress will have a smaller impact on you because you are able to keep all kinds of situations in your hand. Number 4 is capitalizing on capabilities. If you're able to manage to use at least 1/5 of your time in private and professional life to use your abilities and skills, you will not need any external motivation to feel good because your internal motivation will give you enough dynamism in your everyday life. 5. Self-discipline. This includes thoughtfulness, sports, healthy eating, and good amount of sleep. I consider self-discipline as the back office of your mental resilience. If you pay attention to this, you will be more able to face challenges in other fields of your life with a clear head, and you will more likely implement healthy habits and stop the ones that are holding you back. 6. Awareness and passion. If we are aware, we can see the meaning in our work and private life more than if we would just do something because it is told to be done. 7. Healthy relationships. As human beings, we need a good and strong social network. Negative stress usually comes from unhealthy relationships, but if we have good social skills for surrounding ourselves with the right people, we will have a good basic for constructive action. As part of the longevity study, researchers examined the lives of 1,500 people, and it generally showed that people with ambition, perseverance, and high level of internal motivation have a higher degree of resilience than those who take a more casual approach to work and life. Regarding work-related stress, the observable fact is that the nature of work can cause more stress than the amount of work. Based on the book, for example, people who work in agriculture are much less likely to experience symptoms of work-related burnout, even if they have to work more than 40 hours a week. According to a research, Agricultural workers in the Netherlands are more resistant to stress because of 5 main reasons. They have no direct supervisor, they have no subordinates, they don't have co-workers, they have great freedom of decision, and they are independent and internally motivated. There is regularity in their work, but it's still challenging and it varies day by day, so it doesn't get boring. In addition, there are 2 other reasons. These people love their work and spend a lot of time outside while exercising and moving their body. These people work more than the average 40 hours a week, but they are more balanced and less stressed. That's why this is a good example when not the amount of work, but the nature of work matters. In the following videos, we will go through the above mentioned 7 resilience factors more detailed. To make it easier, I'm splitting the content into more parts. As we all know, it's easier to start one episode of a series than a whole 2-hour-long film. See you in the next one. Bye.